Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. It's always a pleasure to meet somebody new. Today I have for you a new rare game experience. Now for those of you that are new, this is where I comb through the mess that's the internet or my memory, looking for games that are unique. That could be a cabinet design from an arcade that provided a truly one-of-a-kind gaming experience. It could be a mechanic added to a game that made it feel fresh and unique, or an approach to a game that rarely, if ever, is approached again. And today I have one for you that, at least for this channel, is fairly new in the form of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. Now this isn't that old of a game, so bear with me, I know you guys are more into retro. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the story reception a bit, how its development went, and most importantly, how its unique gameplay mechanic made it something a bit more than the sum of its parts. So if you have a moment, sit back and hang out a while as we go into this one. Now, Brothers, as I'll refer to it from now on, was developed by Starbreeze Studios and published by 505 Games in 2013, coming out on pretty much all the consoles you would expect at the time. The story takes place in a fantasy world filled with fantastical creatures like orcs and trolls, and spins a tale of two brothers, obviously, sons of a single father whose wife had drowned out at sea with their youngest son. Now the game opens up showing the youngest's last memory of his mother, only to turn and show their father leaning on the oldest, having fallen ill recently. Your first action in the game is to get your father to a healer, who seems to inform them that there's very little he can do with what he has on hand. I say seems to inform, as the game uses an odd dialogue all on its own that really has no interpretation, leaving a lot of the story to be told visually, and that's done intentionally in order to leave much of what's said and done to be interpreted by the player. This aside, the sons become determined to help their father, their last remaining parent, and set out on a journey together to find a cure for their father's illness before he passes away from it. Enough of all this, I hear some of you saying, what makes this game unique? It certainly isn't the story, you say. Well, yes and no, but since you asked, let's take a look. Now, this game at its core is a top-down puzzle game that has a unique control scheme. You see, each of the analogs, left and right, control one of the two brothers. Pressing the left trigger will allow one brother to interact with the world around them, while pressing the right will allow the other to do the same thing. This allows the player to control both characters without having a button dedicated to swapping between them. Now, I wasn't able to find out much as to why you would use this kind of control scheme, but given the director's film background, I suspect it was meant to help the player feel more like a bond between them and coming to a common goal. There was a bond forming between the two brothers, and learning to coordinate them is at the core of the game, as each brother has strengths and weaknesses that the other complements, making it important to move the right one to the right location to progress in the game. Now, they were focused on having this kind of design in order to keep the player invested in the brothers' journey and struggle. Using the uninterpretive language, artistically styled graphics, and unique control scheme to draw the player into the experience and make them really feel like the two brothers are learning to coordinate and trust one another and learn each other's strengths and weaknesses at the same time that the player is. Interestingly enough, this design worked, and the game was honestly well received, being lauded as one of the best gaming experiences since Journey, getting mostly 8s and 10s from most review outlets at the time. It wasn't just the reviewers that took to it either. The game sold over 800,000 copies since its release, which may not sound like a ton, but for a small budget project from a lesser known studio, that's no small feat. However, what do you guys think of this one? Did any of you ever actually get a chance to experience this one? And if so, what did you think of it? Did you get pulled into the story, or was it too shallow for you? Did you enjoy the control scheme, or did it pull you too much out of the game? What other games like this would you like to see me look into? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, if you don't mind, please leave this video a like. And if you see more of my content you like, consider following the channel. That actually does help me out a ton. Till we meet again though, have a great rest of your day, and happy gaming.